So the other day, my 5-year-old comes up to me and she was asking me for something. I don't even remember what it was, but she came up to me and asked me for something and I said no. And as I was going to explain why I said no, she turned around and started to walk away. And I was like, oh, sorry, mom's still talking. And she was like, well, I already know what you're gonna say. And while it was funny and infuriating all in one moment, and we dealt with the disrespect of obviously while mom's talking, we don't just walk away. I was fascinated in that moment because I was struck by the idea that how often do I do that to God? How often, even when I approach my prayer life or my time in scripture, even specifically familiar passages that maybe we've heard before, I find myself being like, I already know what he's gonna say. And the fascinating thing was even this morning, I was deeply humbled by this because I read a passage that I've read so many times. It's one, especially as a girl, I feel like we often read this passage and it's beautiful and good and always important for us. But Psalm 139 is one that I've heard so many times since I was a kid. And the Lord humbled me again, reminding me of the power of his word to never return void, that every time we read it, there is something new for us. And so Psalm 139, this part stuck out to me where it says this in verse 17. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. How precious to me are your thoughts, oh God. As I think about approaching him in prayer and as I approach his word, do I have that mentality? That my goal and my desire would be, Lord, I want to know your thoughts. What are the things that you want to show me? What are the things that you want to teach me? Your thoughts are precious to me. And so today I want to challenge you that maybe to spend time in a passage that might feel familiar to you. Maybe go back to one that you've read before and you have a tendency to sort of skip over. But would you approach it with the same idea that David has as he writes to the Lord, how precious are your thoughts to me, O God, that I could never outnumber them. I could never know fully what it is that you're going to say and speak to me today. Will we trust that maybe God is going to speak something new to us even when we're not ready for it?